Well, good afternoon, folks, and thank you for joining me. I appreciate your patience. When I logged on to record the video, I realized that my office has turned into the temporary baby room, and I had to move a few toys and other items from behind me. So I apologize for that. My name is Michael Gault. I'm here on behalf of the eminent domain team at Bell, Carrington, Price, and Gregg. In this role, I work with a number of landowners who are impacted by eminent domain cases, and I manage our team of attorneys that represents landowners across 5 states in the Southeast who are impacted similarly. If you're here with us today, though, you're particularly interested in the SR 146 or Cloud Springs Road Widening Project. If you live or work or travel through this area, this is a project that you've been familiar with for a number of years. We started talking about it back in 2019, but here we are in July of 2025. Right-of-way authorization was posted active in August of 2024, and right-of-way acquisition is now ongoing in 2025 and will be ongoing for some time. Some of you may have already received some notice. Some of you may not have heard anything yet. But if you live or work or own a business or a property along this roadway, this section, a little over 2.1 miles of Cloud Springs Road, then you probably already know if you're going to be impacted or not. We, along with other firms like ours, like to get out ahead of the right-of-way acquisition phases of these projects. We don't ever want to see our clients or landowners be taken advantage of by signing something early that might impact your rights or your property value or the value of what we call just compensation from anybody representing the DOT on these projects. And not that anybody would intentionally try to take advantage of landowners, but sometimes documents are signed and agreements are made on the front end that end up hurting my ability or my team's ability to help you on the back end. And so it's important to make sure that you reach out to somebody to understand your rights, to help make sure that your property value is protected, that your property rights are protected, and that ultimately you come out as good as you possibly can at the end of the day. These projects are never good for landowners that are impacted. We rarely see landowners that are happy that portions of their land may be impacted or ultimately taken as a result of an eminent domain or condemnation project. But you can have varying degrees of results. Some can be better than others. And it's our goal to help make sure that your outcome at the end of the day is as good as it can possibly be. So bear with me for just a second. Let me enter some information into the chat box. My name and email address, along with a phone number and our landing page for our eminent domain team. As we go through this brief town hall tonight, there will be questions that you have that I can't answer through this virtual town hall. Instead, I would ask you to reach out to me directly or to our team through bellcarringtoneminentdomain.com. There are a number of ways there that you can reach us. You can schedule appointments on your own. You can find our emails and contact information. You can fill fillable forms that will allow our team to reach out to you at a time that's best for you. That way, ultimately, we can answer your question specifically. We can find your property, and we can drill down and really see what the impact of that is. Now, let me back up and take a big picture, 10,000-foot view. Why are we here? Well, we're here because of the road widening project, and we know that properties alongside a currently existing road, as the road gets wider, portions of those private properties will need to be bought or taken for the road widening. That's just natural. So if you're in this section, the road's unfortunately coming closer to you. Depending on what type of property you have, that impact may be more or less significant than others. We are seeing impacts all the way from what we would call strip takes on residential properties, which are small portions along the frontage, all the way to significant impacts to access and visibility with commercial and industrial properties. And so those impacts vary. Your needs will vary depending on what type of property you have. And that's why it's important for you to be able to reach out to us individually for us to be able to find your impact and to talk about what that may look like for you. What's going to happen first? Well, initially, you're going to be contacted by a DOT employee or a contractor from behalf of the DOT to let you know that your property is going to be impacted. There'll be some sort of evaluation process. And sometimes that includes an appraisal. Sometimes it doesn't. And then ultimately, you are going to be made an initial offer based on what they believe that they're taking from you. The standard here is what we call just compensation. You are entitled to be compensated fairly and adequately for what the state ultimately needs from you. And they're going to attempt to negotiate with you over what that price looks like, although that negotiation is often short lived because Georgia, much like many other states, most states across this country, have the right of eminent domain, which is the right for the government to take private property for a public purpose. And so, if the property can't be negotiated relatively soon after the process begins, then a condemnation can be filed, which is a document that allows the government to proceed with construction, even if you don't have a yet agreed upon price. Now, the good news is that even though they can take the property if they can't agree with you, they still have to pay you fairly and adequately for what they're taking from you. That term again, just compensation. It's real easy on paper, the fair market value of the real estate acquired. Unfortunately, the actual value and what truly is just compensation is never easy to determine. We can be talking about differences in landscaping values, changes to access, changes to visibility, proximity damages on residential properties. All of these items of damages are subjective. Differing minds can have differing opinions over what the values of certain losses to property are. And just because the department or the government often comes to you and says, here's what we think the damage is, sometimes that can change, and oftentimes it can change significantly for the better if you're the landowner. Sometimes things are missed, sometimes things are undervalued. And we like to make sure that we're able to put our team's eyes on it and ears on it and experience on it to make sure that we do the math correctly, that we run the comps correctly, that we identify damages that may have been missed, and ultimately we work to try to increase that just compensation for you as a landowner. Let me close here with some things that are very important for landowners. Oftentimes we hear that they want to know about, and the first of which is attorney's fees. At Bell Carrington, like many eminent domain firms, we work on a contingency fee basis, which means that our clients aren't responsible for any upfront or out-of-pocket cost. We don't ask for any retainer fees, and we don't bill hourly. Instead, our fee is based on a percentage of the amount of recovery or just compensation that we're able to obtain for our clients over and above the initial offer. That's a tricky way of saying we take the initial offer, then we work to find the real damages and increase that offer for you, and our fee becomes a percentage of that increase. Now, those fees can vary depending on the type of property and the type of impact. So we would invite you to reach out to our team to have a real-time consultation with one of our attorneys or staff to find out how that fee may work and how it may be calculated on your particular piece of property. The second is, and this leads me to it, those initial consultations are always free. They're always no obligation. We have some proprietary software within our firm that allows us to look at your property in real time. We can see an overlay of the plan sheets and the impact over the GIS map. And so we're able to tell you pretty quickly, hey, this is a pretty significant impact. Hey, this is a little bit of a smaller impact. You have less square footage taken. So we're able to drill down into what makes sense for both of us. Does it make sense for us to work with you? Do we believe that you need representation? How serious is the impact? And all of those consultations are free. We can answer questions about the specific fee arrangement on your particular type of property, and we can tell you what we think might be the best strategy for your impact going forward. Always free, no obligation. We want to talk to you. We have a team of lawyers that only do eminent domain representation for landowners, and so we're excited when we're able to talk to landowners and look at impacts and really kind of dive into what might make sense for everybody involved in a particular case. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but it doesn't hurt to talk to us to try. So those are the two main final points. Here's the bottom line. This project has been talked about forever. It's on the way. Acquisition is coming, likely this year. Some of you have already been contacted, we know, and many of you will be. And so we're standing by. We want to talk to you. We want to see if we can help you. We are well experienced in eminent domain matters. We have a really good team, from the lawyers to the support staff to the researchers. Everybody involved works to make sure that we are able to help our landowners through what is a very difficult process, oftentimes a confusing process. And we are fortunately here with the experience and the contacts and the analyzation abilities necessary to find out what the impact is to your property and ultimately help make sure that you receive true maximum just compensation because of that impact. So thank you for joining us. We're at the just over 10-minute mark, which is where I like to keep these. Michael Gault on behalf of the Bell Carrington Eminent Domain team, Michael mgault at bellcarrington.com, and a phone number. Or a direct line there if you'd like to give me a call. Thank you, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.